Welcome to Green Card for PhD. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer: the content of this presentation is solely for information purpose and not meant to be a legal advice. With the disclaimer out of the way, let's start the topic of the video. In this video we will discuss more details on EB-1A. Among the 5 employment-based categories, EB-1, EB-5, the first preference, EB-1, visa is granted for those who have extraordinary ability, are an outstanding professor or researcher, or are a multinational executive or manager. Each of these employment classifications has a slightly different set of requirements. Of particular interest to postdoctoral researchers or PhDs in the EB-1 category are the EB-1A, Extraordinary Ability, and EB-1O, Outstanding Researcher, classifications. The EB-1O, classification requires an employer sponsorship and a permanent job, or a job offer from a prospective employer. This classification is often used by researchers in academia, where a university is willing to sponsor the application process. This classification could be used by researchers in industry. However, many employers require a green card for hiring researchers. The EB-1A, also called E-11, Extraordinary Ability, classification allows aliens to self-petition. This does not require employer sponsorship, permanent job offer, or labor certification process. The applicant is not required to be in the USA at the time of application. The statutory requirements for EB-1A classification are to satisfy 3 among the 10 USCIS criteria listed by USCIS or show a one-time significant achievement such as Pulitzer Prize, etc. Of course, winning a prize such as Nobel Prize, Fields Medal, Abel Prize would obviously qualify as extraordinary ability and would not require an elaborate petition letter. We will list and discuss these 10 criteria in more detail later during this presentation. These regulatory EB-1 criteria, while required, are not sufficient. USCIS considers the overall merit of the case by looking at evidence in totality to judge whether the alien can be considered under extraordinary ability. An important point that we would like to note is, there is no requirement for any advanced degree or PhD as part of these 10 criteria. So, you may be wondering, how does having a PhD or advanced degree help? The key point is, most often individuals with advanced degrees or PhD most likely meet 3 or more of the 10 criteria much more easily than individuals without these degrees. Finally, USCIS has what is referred to as a 2-part rule, which asks 2 questions to see if the evidence holds up. We will discuss this first before the 10 criteria. During December 2010, USCIS issued a memo or guidelines for immigration service officers to determine extraordinary ability. The memo instructs USCIS adjudicators to use a 2-part approach to evidence evaluation referenced in the Kazarian appeals case. This is usually referred to as a 2-part evaluation in EB-1A. Under this rule, the applicant should satisfy 3 of the 10 regulatory requirements for EB-1A, and following this, applicant's merits are judged based on the following 2 conditions. Condition 1, petitioner is one of the small percentage of people who have risen to the very top of the field of endeavor. Condition 2, sustained national or international acclaim and that his or her achievements have been recognized in the field of expertise. Some postdocs or researchers have sufficient evidence to meet the EB-1A criteria. How would you know if you are one of them? We suggest you carefully make a list of achievements and take stock of how your work has been applied by other researchers, for example citations, use of your patents or inventions. This should help you determine if you have evidence satisfying the above 2-part criteria. You can try the following approach to check to judge your chances in the EB-1A category, or ask us a question on our blog. You can also look at some background of approved examples on our website, Green Card Application Process, and look at example petition in our DIY packets. A petition for an alien of extraordinary ability must be accompanied by evidence that the alien has sustained national or international acclaim and that his or her achievements have been recognized in the field of expertise. Such evidence shall include evidence of a one-time achievement, that is, a major, internationally recognized award, or at least 3 of the following. 1. Documentation of the alien's receipt of lesser nationally or internationally recognized prizes or awards for excellence in the field of endeavor. 2. documentation of the alien's membership in associations in the field for which classification is sought, which require outstanding achievements of their members, as judged by recognized national or international experts in their disciplines or fields. 3. Published material about the alien in professional or major trade publications or other major media, relating to the alien's work in the field for which classification is sought. Such evidence shall include the title, date, and author of the material, and any necessary translation. 4. Evidence of the alien's participation, either individually or on a panel, as a judge of the work of others in the same or an allied field of specialization for which classification is sought. 5. Evidence of the alien's original scientific, scholarly, artistic, athletic, or business-related contributions of major significance in the field. 6. Evidence of the alien's authorship of scholarly articles in the field, in professional or major trade publications or other major media. 7. Evidence of the display of the alien's work in the field at artistic exhibitions or showcases. 8. Evidence that the alien has performed in a leading or critical role for organizations or establishments that have a distinguished reputation. 9. Evidence that the alien has commanded a high salary or other significantly high remuneration for services, in relation to others in the field, or 10. Evidence of commercial successes in the performing arts, as shown by box office receipts or record, cassette, compact disc, or video sales. In addition to the 10 criteria, USCIS has a specific note that states, if the above standards do not readily apply to the beneficiary's occupation, the petitioner may submit comparable evidence to establish the beneficiary's eligibility. This statement allows room for other compelling evidence that may be considered as evidence for extraordinary ability. This is a common question that is often asked. What are my chances in EB-1A? It is our opinion that most PhDs and advanced degree professionals are their own best judges. We suggest you follow the following set of questions to decide if EB-1A is a good category for you to apply. More importantly, we suggest you visit our website with example successful cases. Look at backgrounds of some approved EB-1A cases. Below is an approach we suggest to determine your chances of success. Do you have a one-time achievement award, a genius award of some sort? If yes, you are likely to be successful. You may not need any other significant evidence. If your answer is no to above, then you need to see if you satisfy the second set of questions. First, review the USCIS criteria for application in the Extraordinary Ability, EB-1A or E11, category. These are the criteria we looked at in the previous slide. Now that you understand what USCIS expects, make a list of all your accomplishments, awards, etc. that you think meet this requirements. Can you meet at least 3 or more of these criteria? If yes, continue. Next check relates to the two-part rule. Are you one of the small percentage of people in your field? Is there sustained national interest to your work? If you answered yes to this second set, you are likely to be successful. If you find it hard to make an accurate assessment just from USCIS EB-1A criteria and backgrounds of some approved EB-1A cases listed on our website, you can also use our DIY packets, which have an example petition to make a more accurate judgment. If you are just learning about the I-140 application process, then you probably have several other questions. What is a self-petition? What category do I choose, EB-1A or NIW? What is the exact process I need to follow to apply for one of these applications? We'll answer these questions and many others in our rest of the videos. Please remember to like this video, subscribe, and watch our other videos. Green Card for PhD is a small team of professionals who have obtained their green cards via the process detailed in our videos and the DIY packets. Our DIY packets contain examples of successful applicants. Please visit our website to know more about the DIY packets.